Welcome to another exciting episode at Speak Up Africa. We are here to bring you conversations that are informative, entertaining, and engaging. And today I have a young lady who has traveled beyond the walls and borders of Kenya in the technology space. And we continue to have conversations around how technology helps people and just to have young ladies and women in tech pushing barriers and bringing the change that we want to see. We are proud, to say the least, Joy. So welcome to our episode.
Thank you so much, Wendy.
We're excited to have you here. And I know we've had conversations outside the studio.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
know, so you can introduce yourself and give us the exciting juice of how you traveled out.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you so much for having me. I think this is the most hardest part of me introducing myself. My name is Joy Watiri. I am a student at Mount Kenya University, pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer science. Professionally, I'm a UI UX designer. I'm a tech community lead, and I love flowers. I love color white.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just a girl who's doing what I believe the 20-year-old should be doing. So,
fantastic. Why tech? I think people look at it as one of the hardest spaces to be, STEM subjects, and that space is really a difficult one to, or rather that's the notion we've grown up having, So why tech for you?
Well, for me, it's kind of different. I can't say that I knew from the beginning that I wanted to do tech, but one thing for sure I knew is that I wanted something with impact. And by the time I was growing up, impact looked like low. I think when everybody's looking at impact, there's lawyer, humanitarian courses.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do. Like I remember in Form 1, I was like, I wanted to be an advocate of the High Court. But then when I was in Form 2, things kind of changed because I did well in physics, but I didn't like it. I felt like it needed so much from me. And I was
too much.
And then I went to Science Congress. At that time, I was doing computer, but nile hata me Form 1 hata niende tu fanki aki. So I just went, I looked for a project, computer-based. I went, did the presentation. I was number 1.
Oh, wow.
Proceeded, I was number 2. So I was like, I loved that feeling of presenting something of my own, something tech-related, because I felt like that's something, you can't take away that from me. So at that time, I didn't know what computer science is. I didn't know what web development. Corona struck. My mom was like, your cousin is doing computer science at UN. Hey, what is that? Call him and ask him.
Yeah.
I just asked him, but he was like, you need to do physics. I know you're saying, but you need to do physics.
Yeah.
So what I did, and I think it was a very informative decision, I went to YouTube. You see this web development crash course in 3 hours, 2 hours. I told myself, let me just listen. If at all I don't like it from the beginning,
that's it.
Turudi tukwalo. But if it was something that I love, I'll just start. And I didn't even have a laptop. I was writing those things on paper.
Oh, wow.
So I told my mom, I feel like this is something that I would love to do. And she was like, and my mom works in IT-ish. So she kind of understood. So she was trying to explain it to me. But I told her, I'm not going to do physics, Aki mom. I know there's no point. One subject is taking the effort of 3. So I just told her, I know this is really, it's like one of the core subjects for you to do computer science, but let's just believe that whatever I'm dreaming of, God is aligning with it. My friends were telling me, mi sijui kwa nini unasema utafanya computer science na una physics. And I was like, let me just leave it to God. And I told myself, I'm not doing physics, but I'll get an A in computer.
Wow.
That's for sure. So I finished high school without physics. Mfanye physics lakini. So I was called for law, Daystar. So that's a very, you'll be like, see, but I wanted to do law from the beginning. Even the university
is aligning and saying, this is what you need to do.
This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
My mom was like, do you really want to do computer science? I was like, this is what I want.
But wait, does that mean when you were choosing the career paths to take, you chose law at Daystar, no?
Nileka tu kama, unajua we were told you can't put all courses like computer science, you have to diversify kiasi.
Okay.
So I had put even nursing, law. Hiyo ilikuwa tu ukienda vibaya sana, at least I'm not falling to something I've never thought of.
Yeah.
Human resource. I'm like, I've never thought of anything like that.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, one thing about my mom, you want something, go for it. She told me, hii ndio hii map ya Nairobi. Daystar iko hapa, Strathmore iko hapa, hii iko hapa, go. Hata sikuwa nimeenda town peke yangu. I remember I was doing a short course at Westlands, up around the mall.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to maliza class at around 2, and then nikaenda KCA. So my mom was like, you have so many aunties in Nairobi, just call them and ask them. So I would call my aunt, auntie, unajua pali KCA iko napanda gari gani? So I just go, I look. I also went to MKU, Union Towers. I went to Strathmore. I even did the interview. I went to...
So all these schools, you're looking for a place to go and study
computer science without physics.
Okay. Without...
I went to Strathmore, USIU. Mainly I was focusing on private schools because I know for sure public...
It would have been difficult.
Yeah. My mom was like, I know people in the Kohel, Bizo. I can talk to them, but then they're like, hey, even if you try and fix her in this, the like schools that people don't usually know, like Embu, nini, it's still kind of difficult. So I even told my mommy I'm willing to repeat.
Wow, so that you take now physics.
And then I come and do computer science. And then my mom was like, you're not going to do that. So she told me, when you went to MKU, go back, because I didn't want to go to MKU. So I was like, and nilienda. So I just went there.
Yeah.
And they told me you actually don't need physics. They told me that I needed physics. Strathmore, tuliletewa nusu mili kama school fees.
And that's PASEM.
PASEM.
Wow.
KCA, I really didn't like the school. Like, kuna kitu tu, because it's a business school. So I was like, I want something that is like more inajulikana tech or
inclined
something.
Towards the course you want to do.
Yeah. So MKU, they accepted. I got an admission letter. Sasa pale walinikasirisha, ndio waliniambia computer science is only in Thika. Because I thought I'll just go to Union Towers. I just go home.
Yeah, the Nairobi campus.
They're like, nah, some courses, you have to do them in the main campus. So it's me trying to sanaenda Thika. And you know, Ushago is like 45 minutes away from Thika. So mimi naona naenda. In short, that's what you guys are telling me. Wow. So I just, my mom was like, you wanted to do computer science. At this point, the school doesn't really matter as long as you're doing, because at least you're not compromising on your dreams. I was like, it's okay, I will go. And I went. And the funny thing is, I kept telling my mom, if I went to Strathmore, I don't think I would be here. Because you're going somewhere you didn't ideally, because Strathmore is my dream Kenyan school. So I would have gotten maybe comfortable, because all I wanted is to go to Strathmore, and I've gone to Strathmore. But when I went to MKU, I came to realize for me to compete with the Strathmore kids,
you have to put in much more effort.
Yeah, I need to put myself out there continuously. And being a woman in tech, that means double the effort.
Yeah. And I appreciate how you've put yourself out here, because primarily that's how you're even on this podcast today. So there's something fundamental that you've highlighted, that growing up, STEM subjects and career paths are not the norm. You know, the dream is either become a doctor, a lawyer, I don't know, a nurse. You know, those are
engineer,
the exactly. Thank you. Those are the highest form of achievement in terms of career paths that one can take. So, what was the source of inspiration for you? And especially as a lady, because I mean, for me, right until when I started working, that's when I have gone out of my way to look for women in tech and have conversations with them. But what kept you going as a lady in this space, even wanting to just study and dominate and excel and flourish in this facet of life?
So what really inspired me, I think it just goes back to that science congress. It's changed my life, because when we did, I was with my friend. At that time, she was a business person. So me naongelelea tech, ya naongelelea the business aspect of it. And it was like a hospital, like management system. And what I loved at that experience is that in high school, the judges don't care if you're a girl or you're a boy or you're, I don't know. Because where I studied, it was a national school, yes, but in Kajiado.
Them.
They don't care. But your project makes sense.
Yeah.
Abu, imagine, proceed.
Yeah.
So when I studied in Kajiado, you can imagine you're studying with people who probably they're running away from early marriages, FGM, and when people don't think it's that crazy. Like, I remember we have like prayer session. Someone is praying that their cows don't die because they need school fees. And me, I'm from Nairobi. I've never thought of such a thing. Someone is telling you, oh, my dad wants to marry me off. Girl, you're in Form 1.
All right. I think I've never even sat to really think about such problem. I mean, I've interacted with stories.
Yeah.
You highlight them as national issues, but never at a personal level that actually I know Joy and they are going through this predicament.
Yeah. And at that time, your biggest worry is, will I get enough pocket money? I talked to the child lady of CU, will she put me in the funky list? Someone is struggling like a lot. And when I went to that science congress, I felt like, but I can't talk in Nairobi, I have my own struggles. Even someone who's going through the deepest struggles, and that platform, it equalizes everyone. So you have a good project. That's all that matters. Whether you came from, I don't know which hole in this country, that's all that matters. And I felt so nice. Because when I met those private school boys, oh my God, I was feeling like, so I felt like this is something every woman should feel. Because many of the times, so many topics in society brings us down. Oh, you're not pretty enough. Oh, this is, why are you tall? Why? Like so many things. But when it comes to education and careers, at that time, I didn't know what the career space looked like. But for me, at that point, I felt like I can literally do this and be the best.
Yeah.
And I was telling my computer science, my computer teacher, hey, me nitakuwa computer wizard. I'll just be knowing everything. Yeah. So that point, and then moving on forward and seeing that women out here are vouching for other women. The same way you invited me here, you've given me a platform. Someone else will tell me, oh, Joy, they'll do the same. And as you move on, obviously there are people who are going to discourage you and tell you, me hata niliambiwa nikuwa air hostess. You see, like all those things. And in their head, they feel like they have the best interests at their heart. But when it comes to reality, it's about what do you want and what effort are you willing to put for you to get there?
Yeah. So Joy, I've had conversations with you. I remember the time we were at Strathmore, the school you wanted to be, and you had just come back into the country.
Yeah.
So how was that experience, number one, just having traveled to a first world country and seeing that and just comparing it to what is really happening back at home? Because I know with technological evolution, things are different. There are other countries that are so way ahead of us, even in terms of the working culture and what we do. What was that experience for you as a young lady, just, navigating through the space?
So one, nilikuwa ninashtuka tu, nilikuwa too wowed. I think that's something people don't talk about. We were not calm. We were just like, wow. Oh my God.
Culture shock.
Culture shock 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an amazing experience. It was good to see the different cultures. And I think I highlighted this in our conversation. You get to see that two things can be correct at the same time. Here, there are things we do that are good and correct. But to them, they're like, apana. But you go and live with them, you see also their way is correct. It's just that you're in two different realities. So that was something I needed to accept because I knew the word two things can be correct in theory. But you get there and you're like, okay, I see what you guys meant. So that was the first thing. The second thing was...
Maybe just to expound a little bit more on that, what's the one thing that really stood out for you that two things can actually be correct? Because there's someone probably listening to us or watching us and they're like, do I really get what?
Okay,
So what's an example or instances that really brought that out for you?
Okay, let me use two instances. One is a very basic example, dressing. Here you can't wear shorts. When are you wearing shorts? When are you? Now unapanda matatu, you see. And it's because our culture is not accommodative of that dressing style.
Yeah.
But you go there, the degrees are 14 in summer. How am I going to wear jeans, t-shirt, jacket.
And a jacket.
And you can't wear that.
Yeah.
And for them, how they view dressing is a way of expression. So you'll find different aesthetics are being embraced, and there's nothing wrong, because how can dressing be wrong to them? How can dressing be wrong? That's a very basic thing. And then you come here and you realize there is no like, I'm trying to look for a very good word, but there's no sexual assault. It's a very safe place. So even when a guy is approaching you, they don't see you've worn a short dress. They're seeing you as a person. And then we'll come to your name, your gender, your nini later. First, you're a person. I'm addressing you as a person. Whatever you're wearing doesn't really matter. And then you come here, it's because girls are feeling unsafe. That's why they're covering up. There's certain religions that don't allow you to express yourself like that. So in this,
how dare you express yourself?
Yeah.
You know, the more you're thinking, you're speaking, I'm thinking, I mean, it's a cultural thing, values. I mean, you are respected or not respected in the society based on things like how you simply just dress. I mean, even trousers, we've just embraced maybe a decade or two ago. But primarily for women, who do you think you are to be dressed in pants?
You want to be a man.
Imagine. You. Exactly.
So you come here, it's how unsafe it is for you to be dressing like that. Or you have to think, I'm going to Westie, I won't try and match trouble. I'm going to Karen, or you see, you have to know where you're going for you to dress in a certain way. But for them, I'm just dressing like, because maybe it's too hot. Maybe I just look good in this short dress. I have short legs. I can't be wearing long dress. You see, they're thinking about such things. And it's okay. It's okay. Everybody is doing based on what they have been shown in their world. And another example would be like, I went to a summit by the US Embassy, and one of the speakers was a Gen Z, and he said there's no reward for doing hard things. Wendy, if I told you I work from home till here and you Ubered. So that's an African thing. When you do things the hard way, you're rewarded more. Who said?
Please say that again. And it's a thing, Joy. It really is a thing that... And funny how, I think a couple of years ago, maybe 4 or 5, a friend of mine, because I moved even to the uptown sides of Nairobi from when I was young, because I was like, I'm looking for social capital. I'm looking at who is my neighbor. You know, you could be talking to your potential employer. And again, it just changes your way of thinking.
Yeah.
But to be very honest, even for me, my family, there are relatives who believed, you know, life has to be a sequence, that you have to struggle, and then after struggling, then the success comes. But I was like, no, it doesn't have to be the formula for everyone. You can literally come out of college and get a job that's paying you $1 million, and you will never know struggle in your life.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So that's one, because even when it comes to work, they're trying to look for efficiency. How can we do this thing faster? Whether AI does it, whether you do it, bora tumemaliza haraka so that we can move on to the next things. And that's something the African system, Aki, we need to change, us being included. There's no reward for trying to show others, you know, me, I walked. So it's our parents who told us they walked without shoes. So us, we also walk without shoes to prove that education is valuable. No. So so I was seeing even the way normal life, there's a reason why they came up with fast trains, because we need to move faster. There's a reason why they're allowed to use AI tools in their work. Like if I can get a poster generating AI tool, why should I need a graphic designer who will take 2 to 3 days to do it?
Thank you.
So that's something I also learned, among many other things. And even how we view performance in Kenya and there. Performance here is, when you came 7 days a week, you are performing. But then for them, it's, oh my God. Sorry. For them, it's, Wendy came 20 hours this week and she has done ABCD. You came 7 days. Siku mzima umeshinda hapa, you did AB.
Yeah. Where do you put the weight?
Yeah. Performance here looks like, I come to work and I work here. I come to the building. Performance there is, if you work in Paris, you work in Amsterdam, bora the work is done. That's all that matters. You see, and health, performance in relations to your health. There, even if you're feeling 60%, you should not come to work. We want you at 100 because they feel like we don't want you at optimal. We want you at your best. Because when you're at your best, you're working amazingly. You're even happy to be here. But here, you're 60 inatosha. Inatosha, you
Even
can come
20,
to work.
even when
20.
you're barely surviving,
Exactly.
you really need to be there. Joy, I wanted us to highlight a couple of things. That's very enlightening when it comes to like work culture. But for tech, right, and the spaces there, what are the comparisons? I remember we were talking about when you're there, there's a way, I'll get the terminologies wrong, but maybe when you're doing coding of ABC, that's just what you're doing. And you're appreciated for that. But when you come back home, you have to do coding, compiling, you're the marketer, you're the, you're doing everything. All under one roof to just be proven to be really working. So how was that difference for you?
It was an amazing difference, to be honest, because I want to be a UI UX designer. And
what's that?
Okay, Poleni. So a UI UX designer is that it's user interface and user experience. So think about WhatsApp. Why is it WhatsApp why is it green? Why is the charts arranged this way? Why is status there? Why is it the name status and not highlight or something else? Like how the user experiences your digital product and how he or she interacts with it. So my work is to design it, yes, but design it makes sense for my user, not for me. It's like when I come to your kitchen, I'll keep asking, where's the salt? Where's the nene? But for you, you're just opening. So you as the designer, it looks like easy. See, salt iko hapa. But the person who's using it, they don't know that. So you have to think like that user. Okay. Go fetch data and then design it to appeal to them. So here, even my friends, even my mom told me the other day, itabidi uanze kutafuta job abroad because here you can't just do that. You have to be a software engineer. You have to be an AI engineer. You do so many things, not just one. But there, if you're a UI UX designer, that's your work only. If you're a product manager, that's your work. If you're a software engineer, that's your work. AI engineer, that's your work. Data analyst, period. But you come here, let's say you're building a project from scratch. You'll find a project only has two people. Mugawane, mujue venye mtafanya yote iishe. So one person is maybe a front-end engineer and the project manager and the designer and the nini. And the other person maybe is back-end AI, data and all those things. But you find when even coming to the salaries, that other person in Europe who's doing only one role is being paid even way more than this other person who is doing 22 things.
Yeah, sadly so. Sadly so. But do you think it's an issue of African democracies not also embracing tech? Because when now you've explained front and back end, it's now that I'm like, oh, it actually makes sense. Why is it called status? Why is it green?
Yeah.
You know, do you think it's also a thing of cultural interaction and engagement with technology that just makes us more of, we could really care less compared to first world countries where they know the importance of it, they appreciate the difference that technology brings to their lives.
I don't think that's the thing, because even in Germany, they have not embraced blockchain, and here they have not embraced AI. But
really now?
No, it's not as much. So I think it just goes back to the work culture. Kufanya kazi mingi ndo kuwa important. That's how. And I think for them, here we're trying to save money because you feel like I'll have to employ 20 people to do all those 20 things. But for them, they are like, I'm employing 20 people who are going to do their best. I think it's just a work thing. Like, it's like hata mjengo. Si kuna kwanga tuna supervisor mmoja na hao watu wengine wote wanainua mawe. But if that person is told, we can get you a machine to kuinue hii mawe, they'll be like, what price is the machine? Akwe like 2 million.
Wacha wainue.
Wacha wainue.
Wacha Njoroge Kamau.
But if you account to what Joro and all those things a year, you're paying them, it goes back to that 2 million.
Yeah.
So people are not, I think there's a shift that people are not willing to make. And it's us changing the lens and seeing things in a not so hard way. Yeah.
And embracing that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Joy, I just want us to digress a bit. And I like the small analogy we've given. And you being a young person getting into this space, you're literally getting into this space with now AI being a big thing.
Yeah.
Someone says AI is not really new. It's been there for a while, but it's just a big sensation right now. And everyone feels like their roles, their jobs are threatened.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel as somebody who is now literally positioning themselves to get into the marketplace?
I think someone said that AI will not replace you if you do the work. You have to keep up with it. Because even for me, a design, I think, is one of the easiest ways to people would see as replacement, because we have web generating AI tools. So why am I needed?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the human part of it, of how is Wendy feeling while using this website that AI has generated, that's something AI can't answer. But if you feel like you'll stay like where we were 2000, at the year 2000, and AI is coming, you'll definitely be replaced. Where you like you stuck to the basic Excel sheet and there's Power BI. AI, of course, will replace you. So you have to keep up with it. If, for example, maybe when you're generating the concept note for me, if you have decided, let me sit down and use my head, Wendy, you're tired. You're tired.
Yeah.
I need to sleep. I need to eat. I need to nitoe nguo za kesho. But you can tell ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, it knows you. It will put your voice and all those things, and you just need to proofread it and say, I need to change these few things, and then I send it to Joy. But imagine someone who is always doing it. Sasa, imagine ingekuwa job, take 2 days to come up with a concept note. Your boss will fire you even before AI comes. So
you
that's have
true.
to embrace it and see how does it fit to me. How do I use AI to make my work easier and better?
That's true. All right. Because it's a conversation many people are having. And that brings me to the point of I think you stand out in excellence, even at the level that you are, because you're still in school, right?
Yeah.
And many people would say, oh, I studied and finished, but there are no opportunities. There are no jobs. What should we do? And it's something that young people of this country have been singing. And you get on the other spectrum of things, there are people who are getting opportunities. And I would want us to just briefly get into that and how you are able to even travel abroad for an internship. So how should young people stay ahead of the game? Stay ready, Yeah.
So this might sound not okay, but please don't sit in your room playing PS. That's the truth. And that's it's not even sad. It's the truth. Even if you go to America and sit in your room and play PS, you'll still not get a job. But what I would say is there are so many educated people, so many people who are putting themselves out there. I think one of the stories you have been hearing, but still works, LinkedIn. Post on LinkedIn what you're doing. Because I had a conversation with someone. I was telling it, they are a recruiter. So I was telling them, I apply for jobs and they want 10 years of experience. How am I going to get 10 years? Hata sijamaliza 3 years university. But they told me, you see those projects, you see those volunteering roles, those are your years of experience. Remember when I volunteered to CITAM?
Yeah.
I put that in my resume.
Yeah.
That I volunteered at CITAM and I did this. Even if they call you Wendy and ask, did Joy? You're like, yeah, she was there. So, because if we wait to be employed to Safaricom for 2 years, we go to ABSA for 3 years, it might not get there.
Yeah.
But maybe there's an international recruiter who's seeing that. Because sometimes we put ourselves in this box where I only want to work in Safaricom, Microsoft, nini. And I was also there. But you go outside or even see, there's a platform, I think I'm going to share with Wendy, they're going to put it in the job the description of the video, where you see how people are paid around the world. You just put the company name and you see the salaries. So if you feel like you meet this criteria, while in Kenya, And in maybe UK, they need the same person with those skills. Why not apply there? Believe in yourself. You will fail. That's given. But you will get a lesson. Apply for the next one. Maybe fail, get a lesson. By the time you're getting to maybe to your 5th company, you have gained so much lessons that you can apply there and maybe put you to be the best candidate. And one thing I've learned about these outside countries, they don't want 100%. Because you will never be 100%.
Yeah.
They're looking for things that are encoded in your value system. Are you a communicator? Are you trustworthy? Are you nini? They believe that skills can be taught, but character can never be taught.
All right. That's deep, girl. You went and came back and now you're deep.
Clock it back.
Right.
You see, so if I have maybe this amount of experience, I've done ABC, I go there, they feel like Joy is a good communicator. But this one thing, she doesn't know how to use maybe Canva. You're telling me if you sit with that person 2 days, I know Canva.
Yeah.
So believe in yourself. Apply for those things. Just apply. Apply for them. Even these voluntary roles in abroad. Just apply. You see there's an event in South Africa and they need volunteers. Mostly they pay for most of the things. Maybe if you're like not fortunate enough maybe to afford an air ticket like I am, look for the ones that are fully sponsored. Apply for those ones. And even if they choose it because of an inclusivity thing, be it. Sinimeenda.
Yeah.
If they wanted 2 more people to make the black race more visible,
you use the cards that you have at your disposal to play.
If they want a girl and you are a girl, even if they tell you they only chose you, you become a girl for you to be chosen. Because I feel like if we tukika place wataka kuhurumiwa, kufanyiwa like kukua wendo uchagule simu nitafute juu mimi ni msichana, people don't have that time.
Joy, let me tell you, there's a reality that we have in our nation where, especially young people who've gone to uni, have a sense of entitlement that, you know what, I mean, I've studied 4 years.
Yeah.
I have my undergraduate. I'm not about to be hustling under the sun. The jobs should come to us. You're a young person.
Yeah.
What's your take and feel about that?
You should only be entitled if you can see 3 jobs and you meet 70% of the criteria. If you meet 7, hata mimi nakuheshimu. Because if you look at a job in Microsoft, another one maybe in Equity Bank, and another one, I don't know. I'm looking for places that are different industries. Another maybe EABL, sorry to use that one.
Yeah.
But you look, those are different. Safaricom is tech. Nini is financial equity and EABL is breweries and industries. They all have a IT department and all of them need different things. Safaricom is more uko juju than maybe equity than EABL. If you look at those jobs and you feel like, oh, I have this, 80 to 70% of the criteria you're meeting it, please be entitled. But ukiangalia hivi uko na tu a minimum bachelor's degree. Please let's go out there.
Yeah.
And hata mimi niko bado you have to build yourself and you find those people that meet 80% of the criteria. They know it and they're still looking. So why are you seated?
Yeah.
Because I met someone, she's working at Microsoft as an intern, a software engineer, level 1. She has done, for the techies, they have done all those coding challenges, almost all of them. They have interned in international companies, but they still apply for those jobs. They still go for networking sessions. When did you know someone, can you please? And then you're at 1%.
And you're not, you're just like, because I have the bare minimum, which is the
bare minimum, probably chat GPT your way through your degree. If they ask you, I see you did this unit. Can you tell me more about it? You're just like, you unit. Nilienda class. Like you have to be real. And the reality is there are so many people who deserve that job. So many. It might not be me, but I'm pretty sure there are people who have worked there 4 years. Mtu unapata all long holidays alikuwa intern. Zote. Yani, tukipanga kwenda summertides, yeye ako internship. And you want us to be the same. We can never be the same.
Joy, so I don't know. I've just thought about this when I was laughing here. So Gen Zs say, they're going to be their own bosses. And I know tech is one space where that is actually very practical and can be actualized, that you don't have to be employed. But it doesn't negate the fact that work ethics is paramount and cuts across. So the young ones feel like, I mean, I want a job that I'll go in at 10, at 3 me I'm outside. If there's a party, if there's summer tides, I'm not coming to the office, and don't ask me. I mean, you've said in outside countries, people work and bring excellence. But I think there's a thin line between excellence and the new culture young people want to bring in our country. I want you to comment on that.
What I would say is, it's not only a Gen Z thing. If there are even millennials who are like that, there are even baby boomers who are like that. Mwache kutuekelea.
No, but Gen Zs, you guys munasumbua sana.
The thing is just that Gen Zs are so themselves to the point, even if it's something bad, they don't know it because you're just expressing yourself. If I tell you right now, Wendy, me, I take bang, I don't. I take weed, and I don't even see a problem with it. It's only you who you're going to be like, this is something wrong. But for me, I'm like, so me, I'm just having fun. And like nijiachilie tu kiasi. We are all viewing it differently. But the thing is, when it comes to work ethics, even if you're going to employ yourself, kwanza hapo, you need a lot of discipline. And that's something we need to cultivate. Because as much as you're being yourself, yes, you can be your own boss, even in that employment. And if you want to be self-employed, you need that discipline. And there's amazing Gen Zs who are showing consistency. Hata tuanze tu kwa content creation. They are very consistent. You see someone is posting and they're attracting big brands. Let's start na mtoto wa kanani wahu. What's her name? Tumiso. She's 19. I saw she did with Garnier, she did with this. You think Garnier will just go and take just anybody and shika sasa wewe to There's a level of work ethics and maybe discipline, all those good things when it comes to work that she has shown. So as much as you want to be your own boss, you're not saying you don't be yourself. Be yourself, be truthful, speak your truth, be honest, but also you can be yourself and also be a good working person. Hizo tu ni ingredients. Ni kama tutengeneze kachumbari. Wengine wakiweka cucumber, wengine wake lettuce. At the end of the day, we are having a salad. And if you want to stick to kachumbari ile tu tumezoea mtaa, it's okay. We'll see where that will get you. But if you add all these good other ingredients, there's a reason they put olive oil and it still tastes good. Doesn't mean the other kachumbari is bad. We're just putting things to make it better. So all these things are work on yourself. Be willing to hear the truth. Sometimes inakaa kama tunaonewa, but sometimes it's the truth. And I think with all that and just being authentic, that boss that you want to be, it's going to come eventually. Hata kama si sahi, 2 to 3
work in the pipeline. But sometimes it's hard to trust the process. I've seen many a times on socials, people say, does the process know we are trusting it? Because I mean, we have been raised in the generation of we want quick results. It's almost we want it instantly. And I want to bring it back to something you said, that your mom said and mentioned to you, that you should actually now look at getting jobs internationally and in the global scope. So where do we leave our country? If you get educated here, then when you get experience, you leave. Do you think that is detrimental to the younger generation? Because so who remains as a source of inspiration for them if we are all saying, let's go secure the bag from outside and not here, and especially in tech?
I think this will be very controversial, but I feel like, and if I stay here and I'm poor, am I still building the country?
But you're talking about the longevity of the impact.
Yeah. Like if you go abroad, there are people who go work for 5, 6, 10 years and then come back. That still builds the country, because if that person angebaki and 50K per month over a period of 10 years, possibility or impact to what the government receives and what people in the generation, like people outside you, see you as, itakuwa as big. But if you go, you're earning maybe a minimum of 1,000 euros per month over 10 years. And then you come back here. sorry to say this, but if you're earning 50K, you go to the street and try to mentor a child, who are you? It's the truth. Because the kid wants to see a Beamer, an Audi. It's sadly, that's the truth. Aki, I'm sorry. But this person, ameenda akafanya kazi US, amefanya sijui masters wapi. They have the bag and they come and tell you, Joy, study. Hata wewe Wendy, ungesikiza nani?
Don't you think that's new colonialism, like ukoloni mamboleo, because we ourselves are not working to make the work environment, cultures, and remuneration better for us. We are saying, and I'm in comms, I'm in media.
Yeah.
Once someone has an accent, even if they went to South Africa,
Yeah.
they're already 100 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
Simply because they waliingia tu kwa ndege wakafika tu hapa nje wakarudi, you know. And you see it very clearly in the industry. They are more sought after than if you went to Daystar and you still have the talent. You're still doing so well. I think it's new colony mamboleo, because then why do we think you're more valuable if you went outside? So I'm asking you as Joy, do you think you would want to stay back and fight for the change in the culture?
I think what I would say is, as you said, you're playing with the cards that you have. I've met people. There's a lady I know, she's called Caroline. She runs an advisory for academic people who want to study abroad, work abroad, all those things. But she starts it here. So, as much as she's taking people outside, if I make the money and build industries here, don't leave your country. At the end of the day, you're Kenyan. And the card that I have is, if I go and work abroad, I'm earning more and there are more opportunities. But that doesn't mean I can't use that to make Kenya better. So maybe I start a startup in Kenya, employ Kenyans, and they work here. And I introduce this new culture that I've seen there. You're not overworking people. You're giving them the right amount of money they're supposed to be earning. You're mentoring these people. You're not just leaving them and tell them, so lendo kafanya degree, you do you. So at the end of the day, it circles back to, with whatever you have earned outside there, what have you done? Because even with relatives, you hear people say, alienda majuna ajai saidia mtu, you see. And it's okay, it's their money, it's whatever they want to do with it. But what are you going to do with it? Even with presidency. Even the Bible say, the much is given to someone, much is expected from them. So, hata ukibuy gari, ubuy a small car and then you buy a big car, the fueling level is
different.
Exactly. So if God gives you something, or if you earn something, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to empower 50 kids in Madare? Even if it's starting a dance school. At the end of the day, we're building our country based on what we have, and I cannot give what I don't have. So I have to go and get it. That's my personal opinion.
So you're for outside. You'll be outside.
Outside
the country.
No, I'm saying whatever way you get it. Like the people who are in Kenya who are earning a milli, sindio? Kuna watu wanapata pesa mzuri. And if you're not fortunate enough to get what you can here, do what you can. Not what you can, but if you have to go outside to get it, it's fine. Because there'll be so much guilt around people going for what they want.
Yeah.
And we can't funga watu here just because tutakujudge. Even if you stay here, people will judge you.
We'll still judge
so
you either
you just
way.
Bring that experience, all those things back to Kenya. Bring investors here. If you work in a company and they're like, we are looking for an African, and you're not mentioning Kenya, you just say, hey, they even ask you, say, I thought you are African. You see, bring investors, bring all these people. Because even the program I did that took me to Germany, they are coming back to Kenya. Themselves, they are coming here to see for themselves. Because we have already seen the German ecosystem. They also need to see the Kenyan ecosystem for investors to invest. BMW started an plant in South Africa. Did that just happen?
No.
And can we say that is bad? To some extent, yeah. But it's bringing employment to those people. It's bringing this amazing work culture. Because one thing I've learned, even if they open it in Rwanda, the culture they have there, they bring it back here. So people get to see. So at the end of the day, if you earn that milli here impact your people. If you earn that milli in even Rwanda, you don't even need to go far. Bring it to your people.
Yeah. And that's what will make the difference.
Yeah.
That's quite insightful, Joy. And just from the experience that you've gathered, and I know that changed your perspective, do you think we have enough experience, exposure, especially for ladies in tech in the country, and even, let's say, mentorship? Do you feel like things were different when you went and came back? And what is it that is for other people, maybe even your colleagues in school, who have not been able to get such kind of exposure?
Yeah. I think one thing I'd say is you don't need European or Western culture to make it or exposure. Even here, mi sijai kuja hapa, hiyo si ni exposure. Let's start there. We start even with the small things. You don't even need to panda ndege. One thing for sure is there's someone, let me give a very simple example. During your 3-month holiday for the public school students, you go and get employed in a cereal shop, or you sell mutumba, I don't know, just selling something at your local neighborhood. And someone else is selling the same thing in Westlands. Is it the same?
It's not the same.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're in MKU, you're studying IT, whatever tech or STEM related course you're doing, MKU alone will not cut it. Go to US, ayushanga, watu wako, enda Strathmore Student Center wako na escalator. Unaona, hata mimi nilifika nikashanga. You see, such things. From the small things to the big things. What are the lecturers telling their students? And why is this event in Strathmore and not in our school? And what can I do to bring it to our school? You see, you get people there, you talk to speakers, even your fellow peers. You ask them, oh, me, I'm doing this. You're doing what? That itself is exposure. Don't wait for the president to come and expose you. You see?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day is where you are, move out. The way you just said, you had to move to newer places for you to get the social capital that you needed. If you stayed in, let's just say Ngara, you would not get it. And sometimes I know it's hard because you don't have the money. You have the fare, una lunch. Sometimes vice versa, uko na lunch, una fare. Like vitu ni mingi. But invest in yourself and just squeeze tu kiasi. Yani I was to make my nails. Sasa itabidi yo zao, niende USIU for this event. I was to sleep in. It's because it's a Saturday. But let me just wake up a little bit earlier for me to make it for the event in KCA. And pole pole, you meet so many people and you learn so many things. Because I have met people at Strathmore, different events, and they're not even from Strathmore. Hata wako kama mimi, mtu ametoka Cooperative University amekuja event. And I went with my friend to Microsoft for just another event. And he was like, Kole, everybody knows you. And me hata siwajui hivyo in details. As we did a hackathon together. They'll introduce you to someone else. They're like, Joy, we did this and this. So you're the lead for the nini? Yeah. Oh, let me introduce you to the lead of KU, to the lead of, at the end of the day, the exposure that the Western or the European countries will give is what your country doesn't have. Let it be like that. Experience everything here. Juu sasa kama huko, si tuko na SGR. Wako na fast move. Unaona hizo ni vitu country twaina. So you can do that comparison. But if you're here and you've not even explored or exposed yourself to what is here, even when you go to abroad, you just get a culture shock. Pekee. Utakuwa tu unashtuka watu, where are the black people, where are they? But when it comes to things that really matter, you wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah. I like how you're bringing the 360 perspective to it, and you're really highlighting things I believe like stand in the core of who I am. There's social capital, because those networks are what will open doors for you.
Yeah.
And I keep on saying that I don't think I've ever gone to job sites to literally apply.
Yeah.
And I've worked most, if not all, of my adulthood.
Yeah.
And how that has happened, it's always a referral. I'm looking for something, Joy, fine, we'll figure out. Or someone is looking for someone in comms or in the spaces that I am. and then I get referred, and
Yeah.
that's how it is. But if you don't have a contact list that can tow you from the shida that you are in,
Yeah.
you still have a long way to go.
Exactly.
So as we just wind up the conversation, I would want you to echo out your sentiments again on the power of networking and building social capitals even when you're in campus, and then we'll come to the closing remarks.
Okay, so one thing I'd tell you is, you see the way you're seeing LinkedIn is hard. Even for me, it was hard. Oh my God, my mom had to tell me, na nakwambia Joy, nikirudi kutoka job nipate hujatengeneza hiyo account, tutakuwa shida. And what I did is I created the account. At that time hata sikuwa na mambo mengine, nilikuwa just a full-time student, as my friend says. I was just going for events. I post the event. I go to another event. I post the event. I go to another event. I post the event. Pole, 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 pole. But then you start introducing things like, what are you currently doing? What are your projects? Tell us, like, you see people who do consistency days, they say 90 days of consistency. Maybe you're building a project and every day you give us a updates. And I attended a marketing class by Z. I don't know if you know Z. She was saying, if you want to network, because I was like, I network with people, but nashangaa nimepata hii namba alafu sasa tutaambiana nini. You get, those are real time challenges.
Yeah.
And she told me, what you do, I see Wendy Lois, like the Strathmore event, I knew you wanted to, whether to wear a blazer or not. That's a conversation starter. See, that's how I started our conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you go to the page, you say maybe Inuka Leadership is having a event on the 20, these are the lineup of speakers. You go to that speaker, you search, oh, this person works at Equity. You search about Equity. Maybe they say, oh, we are launching, I don't know what. When you go to that person, probably I may repost, amesema their words. And then you look at the things they have been doing, what Equity has been doing. And then when you go and greet them, hi, Wendy Lois. Hi, I saw you guys did a partnership with Baisingo.
Right.
So you start a conversation with them. And sometimes don't even ask, ati Wendy sasa nataka job Z. Maybe I love your glasses. Where did you get them? You start a conversation in. And then when you get home, text them immediately. Hi, Wendy, it was nice meeting you. I was wondering, can we have coffee, lunch, breakfast, with you? And then when you go there, itafika place nini ni friends to the point, utanyuliza na Joy. We keep meeting, we keep nini. And I'll say something like, niko na stress kiasi. And I'm not even showing you ati ndo unisaidile too, just saying. My car just broke down and I'm wondering, where can I get a car I can hire for like 2 to 3 days as I get mine tengenezwa. And you're like, actually.
I love that.
And because you've been having 3-4 dates, they'll be like, this is kind of my friend. And now it's like manipulation, but it's not manipulation. It's like you're owing them something.
Yeah.
They're like, I need to give back to you. And that's how you build your network.
That's true. When you form familiarity, it rarely happens that I've been to conferences and network spaces where someone is told, what questions would you have to the speakers at the end of the conversation, and someone picks the mic and says, Wendy, I was wondering if you could help me with a job. I'm like, I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
So that's not how it's done. That's quite insightful. Thank you. So as we finalize the conversation, what's the future of women in tech in African democracies, especially, at least you having traveled abroad, and bring the experience back home? And hopefully we pray that you go out and bring the change and the difference back home. Thank you. What's the future of the girl child in tech?
I think there's a future, a really bright future. Even because when you see small industry shifting, it's a effect that is going to affect everyone. Because I was seeing 2 videos, one on LinkedIn, another one on Instagram. The lady was saying, Africa is a very uncapitalized market.
Oh, wow.
There are so many, and it's not a bad thing, because we are offering something that the West don't have and the Europeans don't have. Because they have similarly the same culture, they're experiencing things similarly the same. But you come here, it's like a totally different dimension, and that's a power. And it's for you to position yourself in a way that these uncapitalized markets are bringing value to other people. You people, the countries around you, and even people, the far countries. So how are you going to do that? Is don't take the African away from you. That's where it is. And that's how you're going to bring change here. Example, back to the Instagram reel, they were talking about storytelling. And the person, actually, he's not African. He was saying he studies film and those around media. And he was saying all Western movies and stories, all the movies, the novels, whatever, they fall under strict 8 categories. Love, sijui huyu, like, you know those plots.
Yeah,
You're like, hata wewe unawatch because wewe unajua anataka kukufa. You see?
Yeah.
And then he tried to do that with African films and books because he was studying a comic book from Nigeria. And he said he has come with 1,000+ categories. Sasa wewe unataka kukaa mzungu. You see?
Yeah. Just not conforming to the cultures of the West.
Yeah.
Because we hype them to think that they are the best and not what we truly
ideal.
have.
Who said?
Yeah.
You see, so when you embrace who you are as an African and you understand the problems you're having, they don't. They actually need someone to translate the language to anzia hapo. The matatu system. There are so many other things that they don't understand. It's just that they are confident and probably maybe they have the money and all those things that probably you as a person you don't. But you being African is an asset in its own without even adding any other thing
that can make you stand out in the market.
Yeah.
Joy, thank you. I mean, the conversation, I've smiled and laughed so much. I've really enjoyed it. And I want to say a hearty thank you for coming. And we wish you all the very best. And just what you're doing is putting yourself out there. That's what brings the difference.
Yeah.
And here at Speak Up Africa, we continue to bring you conversations that will inform, engage, and entertain you as we pivot from the spaces of leadership and governance to tech. We are here to serve you the juice from the young to the old, and we appreciate you for joining us every other week with our consecutive episodes. For today, I will have to love you and leave you. My name is Wendy Lois. For now, kwaheri.
Bye.